Okay, so you just woke up a balrog. Calm down. Don't panic. I said don't panic!
This is the perfect time to panic!
Snap out of it. This is the time to focus. Focus! You need to do exactly what I say. And just know that if you don't make it, there's always a chance the Valar like you enough to reincarnate you.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Sorry, wrong movie. So, let's not bet on you being likable, and instead, bet on you being able to follow instructions on surviving this thing. Okay, the first thing you need to do is run.
Run!
You need to put as much distance between you and that balrog as you possibly can. If you're carrying a large load, drop it. If you're confused about which direction to run, that would be
away from the balrog.
While running, you also need to put as many obstacles between you and the creature as possible. That would be anything. Caves, buildings, stairs, orcs, teammates, or best option, giant bottomless pits. You need to be warned that the balrog can cause earth tremors, so assuming you've woken up Durin's Bane in Moria, then you're likely to experience cave-ins and falling debris as he mercilessly chases you. Good news! With that in mind, the next step is to use that to your advantage. You can use some of that debris to block your path, marginally slowing down the balrog. The ideal case would be to use any falling rocks to break towering staircases over top of
endless pits of doom.
Okay, once you've completed these steps, this is the moment I need to tell you. He's going to catch up to you. I know, you might be tempted to panic, but don't worry, knowing is half the battle. There's some really good news here. If you happen to be in the universe as a wizard, then you have a lot of options. Skip ahead now if you only need to know what those options are. If you're not a wizard, calm down. There's one simple solution. Sacrifice a wizard in your group to fight the balrog. This is your get out of jail free card. The wizard in your group has more power than you can possibly fathom. He can stand toe to toe with the balrog and he has a seriously good chance of beating it. There's still a significant risk of your wizard losing and the balrog still chases you, but don't worry. You should have plenty of time to get away, leaving your wizard to fight the balrog to the death. Now, if you don't happen to have a wizard in your group, don't worry. You can click on this link on your screen to summon a Magicworks wizard. Otherwise, you have two options. The first option is to
Fly, you fools!
That's right, fly. You need to scream as loud as you can, hopefully to get the attention of some passing eagles. The information we have on balrogs is a bit hazy on if they can actually fly, but what we do know is that sometimes they ride dragons. Hopefully you didn't also wake a dragon. That's a separate issue, and if you did, this guide does not cover how to survive both a balrog and a dragon. Anyway, assuming there's no dragon around, your best bet is to get as much distance by soaring the skies with eagles. This should allow you to survive and potentially carry out any world-changing missions you may be on. Now, if there are no eagles approaching after screaming for several minutes, then your second option is to
fight the balrog.
Stay with me. You can do this. Believe in yourself. Doesn't matter that he's 3 or 4 stories tall. He is not invincible. Just because he's immortal doesn't mean you can't kill him. There are several examples of mortals killing balrogs. Well, okay, there's one example of a mortal killing a balrog, but they succeeded. It doesn't matter if they survived or not. What matters is that there is definitely a chance to beat that balrog. And if he can do it, so can you. So this is what you need to do. Definitely make sure that your armor is secure and that it also contains outward-facing spikes. If you don't have armor, this may be an excellent opportunity to meet the Valar. Once your armor is secure with external spikes, it's time to unsheath your weapon. It doesn't really matter what kind of weapon you have, but swords are probably best. If you were thinking of just keeping distance and launching arrows at the horrid beast, they are not recommended. Balrogs are adorned in iron armor and covered in flames, which will likely both deflect and disintegrate your arrows. So, as he approaches, get your sword at the ready. This is the part I need to tell you. Your best chance of survival is to wrestle it. That's right. Yes, that sounds crazy, but that is the only way. If you try and fight the balrog like a normal foe, you will surely be felled. That means you'll die. You'll die if you don't wrestle him. But the known mortal defeat of a balrog was done with some form of MMA. So that's right. You need to get in close, very close. Try to dodge his first, well, really try to dodge any of his attacks and get right up on him. Okay. Are you ready? I'm going to explain to you your kill option. Here you go. The method is called the Ecthelion, named after the mighty lord ruler of Gondolin in the first stage. This method requires a deep pool of water. So if you don't have the Fountain of the King or a deep pool of water, skip to the next kill option. Otherwise, get in close. Wrap your legs around his and use the spikes from your helmet to stab the balrog. But if you want to survive, you need to hold on tight with your sword. You need to use your sword to block any lethal attacks that come from the balrog as you stab him with your helmet. Yes, once he's been stabbed, you have your legs wrapped around his and he'll lose his balance. You can then proceed in allowing you and the beast fall into a very deep pool of water. The water will subdue his flames and he can indeed drown. You will likely need to stay with the balrog in the water to ensure its demise, which could lead to your own drowning. So you will want some sort of way to breathe underwater or hold your breath for an extremely long period of time. I have faith in you. You can do this. Now, if that method won't work, there is another chance that you have at survival against this balrog. This one is titled the the Feanor method. If you cannot perform the Ecthelion method, and you happen to have an extremely powerful military en route to your location, all you need to do is hold on long enough for the military might to force back the creature. Yes, he can be overwhelmed with military might. Now, you will likely sustain some serious injuries, but there is documentation that some, and by some I mean at least one, persons that have survived in the same manner. If you cannot perform the Ecthelion method, perhaps because you don't have a large body of water or your armor doesn't have spikes, and you know there's not a great army in the way, so the Feanor method option is out, then there's one other chance you have, and that chance is to be captured. Yes, usually balrogs kill their foes, but you do have about a 1 in a 3 million chance that he'll capture you and not immediately kill you. Hooray! If your balrog happens to currently be under the control of Morgoth, meaning that you are in existence in the first stage, then he may be ordered to capture you alive. If that happens, then you will certainly survive your encounter with the balrog and can simply escape at the most opportune moment in the future. Cheers. Okay, if you skipped ahead to this section, then this is what you must do to survive the balrog if you're a wizard. First, congratulations. Being a wizard in this universe is an exceptional feat. In the off chance you have just reawakened after being sent back by the Valar and are still a little fuzzy on your memory, this guide will get you up to speed and tell you exactly what you need to do to defeat the approaching balrog. First, take heart. You're on the same level as the balrog. You and the balrog are both Maiar, powerful primordial spirits tasked to help the Valar shape the world. You're also technically part of the Aeonar, also known as the Holy Ones, and were directly created by Eru himself. So that means many things. 1, you're about as powerful as the balrog, and 2, you're immortal. Congratulations. If you die in this moment, your spirit will live on forever, and you might get reincarnated by the Valar again. Also, if you happen to defeat the balrog and Morgoth has already been detained, then you may permanently remove the balrog from the world. Wonderful news. Okay, with that quick recap, you may remember all that, but be a little hazy on your options. Don't worry, listen and do exactly what I say. Since the balrog is going to catch up to you, you must find some sort of narrow passage, preferably a bridge over top an endless expanse. Then turn to face
The balrog.
Yes, you need to face the balrog. Don't worry, you have the advantage here. Tell that giant walking furnace that he cannot pass, and he will probably get a bit steamed, and that's okay. Tell him who you are. Warn him about the powers granted to you by Eru himself. It may be enough to deter him. Just in case, while you warn him, now would be a really good time to create a magic light shield around yourself. Okay, no telling how many times you can do that. It's time for you to do your special move. Tell him he cannot pass and break the bridge.
You shall not pass!
Congratulations, assuming you followed all the steps as a wizard, the balrog should be slowly falling down the endless pit and should not be able to fly out, as usually the balrog's wings are just for intimidation. But watch out, some balrogs have a whip, may try and catch your leg at the last second to drag you down into the pit with them. If this has just happened to you, don't worry. Remember, you're immortal, and you have some more options, especially if you have a fancy sword. If you find yourself as a wizard falling down a forever hole following a balrog, the first thing you must do is catch up to your sword. Use whatever wizard magic you have to make yourself fall faster and catch your sword in midair. Once you have your sword, go on the offense. The balrog is likely distracted by falling. This is a perfect opportunity to get in close and stab the balrog as much as possible. At some point, while falling, you may find yourself atop a great mountain in some sort of supernatural conflict with the beast for 10 days or so. Don't worry about how you got there, just worry about the balrog, alright? What you absolutely must do is use your wizard powers to summon a bolt of lightning to charge up your sword, and then use your lightning-infused sword
To stab the balrog.
This should be enough after 10 days to end the life of the balrog and force it into that spirit state without a body. Once you have done this, it's possible you may succumb to your wounds, and that's okay. Just let it happen. The Valar appreciate your valor and will almost certainly reincarnate you to continue manipulating politics. Certainly. Yes, most certainly. Anyway, that's it. If you've followed those steps as a non-wizard, then you have either slain a balrog or you have escaped one. And if you are a wizard, then you have have slain a balrog and likely reincarnated. Probably. Very, very probable you reincarnated. So congratulations. You can add this survival victory to your resume, and you may now continue any outstanding missions you may have in the Lord of the Rings universe. If this guide helped save your life, or you found this information useful, please like and subscribe. That way we can help spread the word to as many agents as possible who may find themselves in a similar situation, or to help avoid waking up a balrog altogether. If you have any additional tips or techniques in surviving a balrog, please let me know in the comments. Good luck, everyone.